What's going on, everybody? We got a beautiful Huddle Light conversation for you today. We are in part 3 of weight loss frustrations, fat loss frustrations. And today, most especially, we got Mr. Vince Rountree back with us today. We're going to have a good time tonight. Today, this morning, depends on where you're at watching. And I hope you're watching live. And if you're not, catching on replay. Comment down below if you're watching on Facebook. Tell us where you're watching from. And today we're going to be talking about why weight loss does not require willpower at all. And if it does, that's right. I bet everybody is like, right? Like, wave at me if you've ever felt like that you had to get ready for weight loss, right? Well, I'm going to tell you today the 3 things that has to happen for willpower not to be required. And while if you use willpower, it is guaranteed to be temporary in nature. And I doubt anybody wants temporary weight loss. So let's roll that intro.
Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Daily Huddle. Good morning, Sorrel. Good morning, Rawlin. Good morning, Stacy. Good morning, Stan the Man. Oh my goodness, I'm here.
Hey, Vince. I got to interrupt for just a second. Vince.
And I get to see your beautiful faces in the morning, Rawlin. Wait.
Okay. I'm holding.
Go. Talk to me. Talk to me. It better be good. Talk to me.
All I'm saying is I tried to do your intro last week. I did this, and I just couldn't bring it to bear the way you could. I had to abandon it. I just abandoned it halfway through. So I know that everyone is excited to have you back in the house. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Daily Huddle, right? It's like, and it was like this, and I was like, man, I tried to do that. Like, I even tried to like summon the Vince. Good morning, like that. That's so like, yeah, I couldn't do it. So I'm glad to have you back, partner.
Hey, listen, my heart is broken more than you could ever imagine. I was on vacation last week. We played with the dates. We were going to come back on Monday, then we'll come back on Tuesday, come back on Monday, come back on Tuesday. And with the back and forth, we ended up coming back on Tuesday. And it slipped my mind, and I just couldn't believe it. And I felt horrible. That not that just I wasn't here, but that I didn't tell anybody. And
it's no big deal, man. We're good, man. We're good. Everybody's just happy to be here. You know what? I bet everybody's happy. Y'all happy to see Vince? Wave at me. Y'all happy to see Vince, right? I think Vince really did it as a secret strategy to see how much we'd miss him. That's what I think happened. But, you know.
See, you know me better than that.
I know. I'm just messing, man. I'm just
better than that. Oh my God, it broke my heart when I finally realized long after that I wasn't here. But anyway, we are not going to spend too much time dwelling on that. What I'm gonna do. All right, Stacy, you were on vacation too. That's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. But we're here. I'm happy that we're here. I'm elated that we're here. I'm so happy to be in front of you and that we get to talk about weight loss, our favorite subject. Yes, weight loss. Because when we talk about weight loss, we are so excited to talk about it because we have so many clients that tell us every week, I can't believe weight is falling off, and it's so easy. Literally, we have a program where we do weekly coaching, group coaching, and it never fails. Every week we have people tell us, this is crazy easy. Like, it's just happening. I'm never hungry. I eat as much as I want. I eat whenever I want. And the weight keeps falling off. And so what you're learning in this section on weight loss is how to do it. Oh my goodness, boy, could we be more blessed? Could we be more blessed than to have the incomparable Robin Stern in the house? Oh man, I feel like something has happened. Something has come down and has touched me that in a way that hasn't happened in, I can't tell you how many years and months and days and all that kind of stuff. How are you, Mr. Robin Stern? Talk to me.
If I was any better, I'd be great looking and young like you, Vince.
Listen, there's way too many gray hairs here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In 2 months, I turned 60.
Oh, I'm not far behind you. But look at how great you look, man. Take that shirt off and give us a flex, brother. Come on.
You sound like Rawlin.
Yeah.
You sound like Rawlin.
I'm gonna grow up. I'm gonna grow up and look like you when I grow up, Vince. That's for sure.
Me too.
Right? Yeah. I had 3 appointments cancel on me back to back. So I said, I'm gonna go check out what's going on at the Huddle.
Well, we are happy to have you, my friend. We are delighted to have you. You know, the fact that you're here with us is just awesome, man. You know, and you are one of the guys that has been with the Daily Huddle for a long time listener and contributor and host and friend of the Daily Huddle, man. So it's just awesome to have you whenever we can get you on, man. So thank you for dropping in on us. Listen, we are going to get into this thing. We're going to get into this thing. Willpower. What type of role does willpower play in weight loss? Should willpower be used in weight loss? If you use willpower as your primary driver in weight loss, do you think your weight loss endeavor will be successful? Or is it going to fall flat on its face? Here's what we know. You have to engage forces other than willpower. Willpower is temporary. Stacy has it perfect. Habits are greater than willpower. And it's actually more than that. You're right. Habits will trump willpower every day of the week. No question about that. But you have to understand that your brain, you have to understand that for as long as we've been on this planet, we have evolved generation after generation after generation after generation after generation. We have evolved to survive. And for most of the time on this planet, food has been scarce. I mean, it's only recent times that You got a refrigerator probably 10 feet from where you are right now. You probably got it. And I bet you your refrigerator, you got amazing food in there right now. Just feet from where you are sitting. There's probably a Kroger or a Publix or some kind of grocery store. I'll bet you 15 minutes from your house, maybe 30 minutes from your house. I'll bet you there's some kind of restaurant in a 30-minute drive from your house or less, some kind of restaurant. We live in an environment where food is plentiful, but you have a brain that has been designed and through generations of evolution, your brain is programmed to survive. And for most of our existence on this planet, food has been scarce. So your brain, so you go ahead and try to lose weight by saying, I'm cutting back. Willpower, man, and listen, I gotta lose 10 pounds. I gotta lose 10 pounds. I'm gonna eat less food. That's what I'm gonna do. Doggone it, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of going to the doctor and the doctor tell me I gotta lose 10 pounds or however much I gotta lose. I'm doing it. I don't care what it takes. I'm passing up every time that my plate comes in front of me. I'm taking 20% of the food off and I'll be all right. I'll do it. I'm doing it this time. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Rawlin, please jump in here and help explain this concept of why when you just make the decision, why is it you can't say, I'm just gonna make the decision, I don't care, right? And if you're trying to lose weight just by saying, I'm going to do it.
Right, that's right,
and
all right.
Don't change your strategy. You're just gonna do it based on willpower.
That's right, so I got good news and I got bad news, all right? I'll give y'all the bad news first, is that okay? So actually, no, let's go back to the good news. All right, so the good news, let's start with the good news, okay? So wave at me, guys, everybody in here. Wave at me if sometime in your life you said, I'm going to do this thing. Didn't really matter what it was. Let's say it's a weight loss, but it can be a lot of things. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. This time is different. I'm making the decision. Wave at me if you had that. I'm changing things. Okay. Now, also wave at me at some time in the future. You didn't feel that way anymore. Wave at me. And you're like, I don't care. I'm doing whatever I want. I don't care. I've done that long enough, right? And so what you experienced is willpower. What willpower is a limited resource. It is a finite resource. It's like fuel in a tank and it goes away over time. It's not an inexhaustible resource. And here's more good news. It's not connected to your character. Now, how many of us have beat up on ourselves because we said, I'm going to take a break today from all that willpower stuff, right? Wave at me if you've ever taken a break and you felt like you needed a break from all this hustle and grind, okay? But then later on, you felt bad and you started beating up on yourself for thinking that you needed a break and that you didn't have enough willpower. That's a misunderstanding of willpower. Is it okay if I unchain y'all this morning, break y'all free of that feeling so you never have to worry about it? Let's all break the chains together. Get ready, get ready. Boom. All right. So that's right. Breaking the chains. Here it is. willpower is not necessary for weight loss. Willpower is not necessary to create any new habit. Okay? Willpower is designed for one thing and one thing only, to move attention from one thing to another over a small period of time. That's it. That's all willpower is for. I'm going to use my will to place it on another idea. Okay? Now, when it comes to weight loss, and you have to do this, by the way, with absolutely everything. We're going to talk about weight loss. We're going to talk about weight loss. I'm going to use an example to explain what I mean by this principle. Okay. So last week we talked, I drew a little chart, and this little chart showed 4 levels. Okay. The lowest level was tactics. The second lowest was strategy. The second highest was principles. Okay. And the highest is essence. Essence is the lawgiver. Strategies or principles are that which you can rely on all places at the same time. Okay. So law of gravity is a principle. Well, here's the cool thing. And the bad news. It's both the good news and the bad news. So the bad news is that every weight loss strategy I've ever seen, except for one, which happens to be the one we employ, plug, is breaks a biological principle. And if you break a biological principle, you can do so, but you have to do so with willpower. Okay. So stay with me here for a second. Okay. There's 3 principles for weight loss. Wave at me if you already know all 3 principles. Right. So if you don't know all 3 principles, guess what? So that's the reason why weight loss is slow and frustrating. Because if you don't know the principles, you can't align with the principles. If you don't align with the principles, then you have to use willpower. If you use willpower, it's temporary and you go back. But you thought that willpower was a characteristic of yourself, so then you blame yourself instead of the ignorance of the principles. Okay, so the principles is the most important thing. Here they are. Number 1, calorie deficits. Any diet that's ever worked under any circumstances anywhere creates a calorie deficit. What's a calorie deficit? You take in less calories than you use. Just like fuel in a car. You take in less calories. So if you drive 100 miles, you only put 50 miles worth of gas in. Guess what's going to happen, everybody? Right? What's going to happen, Vince?
You ain't going to make it.
That's right. You ain't going to make it. And so if you had an extra tank in your passenger side, and let's call that extra tank the extra right there, that's when you reach into it, right? That's a calorie deficit. Now, here's the crazy thing. Here's how people achieve a calorie deficit. They exercise like crazy. I'm a willpower way. Anybody ever do that? Wave at me if you've ever just earned it and you exercise and you exercise and you exercise and you exercise and you exercised. And guess what? You probably lost weight. Why? Because you went to calorie deficit. Was it sustainable? No. Why? You got hungrier. Why? We'll talk about that here in just a second. Number 2, people use shrinking your portions. Now think about this for a second. People use shrinking the portions. Anybody ever thought about shrinking your portions to lose weight? So I'm going to eat less food. I'm going to buckle down. I'm going to eat less food. And I'm going to be good. All right. So if you've ever done that, here's the deal. Doing that will break the biological principle of calorie density. We have stretch receptors inside our stomach. If they're not filled up, if we don't have that full feeling, wave at me if you've ever had a full feeling, right? You eat a lot of food and you get full, you feel full, your stomach's stretching. Those are stretch receptors. You're like, I can't eat another bite. Those are stretch receptors. Guess what? And here's the crazy thing. We get mad at ourselves for filling our stomach up because we think we did something bad. Guess what? That's what your biology wants you to do. That's how you survive. So if you're not doing that, your brain's going to be screaming at you all day long, every day for 64 years if you're trying to do it without it. And so you're supposed to fill up your stomach. Think about that. Think about that. Okay. Thirdly, so it's calorie deficit. You have to do calorie deficit. Okay. But if you don't fill up your stomach, if you achieve calorie deficit by not filling up your stomach, guess what happens? Your brain starts talking to you. Eat, 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 eat. Guess what's happening? You're laying in bed at night and you hear rumbling. And before you know it, and you're fighting it and you're using willpower. You're saying, I ain't going to get up. I ain't going to get up. I ain't going to get up. Well, what do? You find yourself middle of the night. It's dark all around you. And that refrigerator's wide open and light shining, beaming through. And it looks like heaven's gates. Because all you want to do is eat everything inside of it, right? Third principle. So the first principle, you have to achieve a calorie deficit. Second principle, you have to eat a low calorie food, because calorie density means that not all foods have the same size. So for example, Vince, you don't talk about this and I got to hurry. Vince, you talk about this. Would you tell me, just as an example, a bag of Doritos versus something like a cantaloupe, like a small bag? Y'all seen those small bags of Doritos? Give me an example of how much of each, how many ounces of each to get the same number of calories.
A small bag of Doritos that fits in your hand.
Y'all listening?
Small bag. I got a picture of it in my oh man, I don't have it right now. I got a picture of it. That teeny bag that fits in my hand is 2.75 ounces, less than 3. It's less than 3 ounces. But that little tiny bag, less than 3 ounces, is over 400 calories. Robin Stern knows this. This man just knows that less than 3 ounces, 400 calories. Okay, to eat, and everybody, and tell me, raise your hand if you can eat a little bag of Doritos, a little bag that fits in your hand.
I can inhale it in like minutes.
Raise your hand if you can eat 2 of them. You can eat 2 of them. I'm gonna stop right there. You can eat 2 of them. Easy. Okay. If you were going to eat, and that's 400 calories, that's easy, and you're not full at all. You just destroyed 400 calories and you're not full. You're not full. Your brain says you got to have more than that. You're not full. Okay. Well, which is that to get 400 calories worth of food, but you're going to eat it in cantaloupes and not Doritos. To eat 400 calories in the form of cantaloupe, well, how much do you have to eat? Well, if the Doritos is only 3 ounces, it's like 2.7. If it's only 2.75 ounces, well, for cantaloupe, maybe 10 ounces. All right, 15, 20.
Come on.
Y'all lying.
Pounds.
Okay, 30 ounces. You got to eat 30 ounces of cantaloupe to have 1 bag of Doritos. 44 ounces of cantaloupe.
Almost 3 pounds, baby.
Is the same calories as less than 3 ounces of Doritos. 44. It's 16 times more food. 16 times more food. It's more than 2 cantaloupes. Raise your hand if you've ever eaten 2 full cantaloupes at one time.
Nope.
But you just said you can wolf down one of these bags. You can wolf down 2 of these bags. 2 of these bags would be the same as 4 cantaloupes.
I mean, if that's all I was eating, I could wolf down 4 of those little bags. They're tiny. They're half filled and they're tiny and they're 3 ounces.
That's the reason why when you use the principle of calorie density, weight will fall off of you without even trying.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so I'm going to hurry up and get to principle 3 so that we go into this a lot deeper in our challenge. If you hadn't joined our challenge, take advantage of it. You ready for it? It's $1,000. Actually, it's $7. So join it. Take the 5 days. It starts next week. It's fun. TheRedLineChallenge.com. Vince may drop the link here and in Facebook. Totally take advantage of that. You get 5 days of us breaking this stuff down so that you can go on your last weight loss journey ever. What is number 3? Let me explain to you what number 3 is. Okay. And then Vince is going to flesh it out in the same way we did number 2. Okay. So the first principle, calorie deficit, you've got to create that in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Okay. But you want to make sure that the way you create a deficit is not something that's going to break the need to fill up your stomach. So that's the reason why the principle of calorie density is so helpful and so important. Is not all calories are created the same. Size doesn't matter when it comes to calorie count. Okay. So the third one, what's the third principle? Because you can satisfy the first 2. And if you don't satisfy the third one, well, too bad. Let me explain to you. It's nutrient receptors. So you want calories that contain a high level of nutrient. Uh-oh.
We got you.
You got me? You still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So what is calorie nutrients? Okay. Well, in the same way you have receptors in your stomach that measure how far it's stretching out to get filled up, you also got little sensors in there that are constantly measuring the individual nutrient values that you need as a person. And it will actually change nutrients around and reform it and tear apart proteins and reassemble proteins and do all kinds of stuff in order to get what you need. And here's the deal. If you don't give it the basic building blocks for what it needs to do those processes, guess what? You can be so full, you're stuffed. Anybody ever been so full that they're stuffed and then still feel like you need something?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You eat so much, you can't eat another bite, but there's something nagging at you. And that something that's nagging at you is telling you, you need to go eat something sweet. You need to go eat this. And you're like, I'm so full. I'm going to get sick, but you still find yourself in front of the refrigerator looking for it. Why? It's because you have not satisfied your nutrient values. And most of the food that people eat today has been so devoid of nutrients that it has size, it has mass. Typically, it has a lot of calories too, but it doesn't have the nutrition you need. We're overfed and undernourished is a common expression. Here's the deal. Guess what? One of the most popular weight loss methods there are. Eat less carbs. Go on a keto diet and cut out all those keto. Vince, tell me a little bit about, well, if someone goes on a keto diet for a long period of time, and if anybody's ever done a long low carb or a long keto, you find out real quick that your brain starts screaming at you to have a banana, to scream at you to have an apple, to scream at you to have a potato, to scream at you to have some squash, right? And the reason for that is the nutrients. But here's the deal. I'm going to ask you, because a lot of people's like, oh, a plant-based diet or something like that. What about nutrients? Okay. Are you going to get everything that you need? Well, Vince, how many nutrients do we know, essential vitamins and minerals that we know if you're on a low carb or specifically ketogenic diet that you're going to be deficient in? How many of those are there?
17. You're going to be deficient in 17 essential vitamins and minerals. And that does not include the fact that if you're eating a low carb diet, if you're eating a diet based primarily on meat, we know that you are absolutely, in addition to the 17 vitamins and minerals, you are absolutely going to be deficient in fiber, because fiber only exists in plant-based foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, lentils, split peas, chickpeas, potatoes. Fiber is only in unprocessed plant-based foods. There's zero fiber in meat, zero fiber in fish, zero fiber in dairy, zero fiber in oil, zero fiber. Fiber only exists in whole plant-based foods, right? So beans that look like beans, rice, it needs to look like rice. A potato that needs to look like a potato. A fruit that looks like fruit. Fiber is in unprocessed plant-based foods. And if you're eating a diet that is primarily based on a ton of meat and fish and cheese and bacon, oh, it may sound good for a period of time, but you are void of, excuse me, essential nutrients, and you are not getting fiber. And when the body lacks fiber, that gets into another conversation of gut health and of immunity, your immune system, and short chain fatty acids, which are necessary for overall health. And yes, Stan, regularity. You need fiber for regularity. Fiber and water are necessary for regularity. And I see now we are
over time.
The hour.
Let me wrap this back up to willpower, and then I'll hand it off to you for us to close. So the reason why this third principle is necessary is because here's the deal. People get mad at themselves because they go on a keto or a low carb diet and they say, well, I just wasn't strong enough to not eat the potato. I wasn't strong enough to not eat those things. That's not the problem. You're not the problem in that situation. Guess what's the problem? The fact that you're trying to break a biological principle with willpower. Willpower is not meant for you to break biological principles. It's meant for you to just shift your focus in a small amount of time, right? You have that craving for those chips. You say, you know what? I do want those chips, but you know what? I could get just in 10 minutes from now, I won't remember the chips if I ate a baked potato. You eat the baked potato, and once you get full on that, you don't want the chips anymore, right? Because you got all the nutrients, you satisfied the stress receptors, you satisfied the nutrient receptors, and you ate a low-calorie dense food all at the same time. So you satisfied all three principles that cause you to feel hungry all at the same time. Willpower is just for quick shifts. It's not for long-term sustainability, okay? And so don't beat yourself up when you've tried to go low carb and it didn't work. It wasn't you. It wasn't your lack of willpower, okay? Y'all, you getting what I'm saying here? And so, Vince, will you wrap us up? But those are the three things you have to connect. You have to create a calorie deficit. You have to make sure that you're eating low-calorie dense foods, and you're going to make sure that those foods are high in nutrient value. All those calories that you put in are high in nutrient value. That way you're not overfed and undernourished. All right. So Vince, we're way over time today. I apologize, guys. This is Vince coming back.
It's my fault. It's my fault. It's just, I'll take it. I'll take it since I wasn't here last week. Oh, Robin Stern's going to step to the plate. And
my fault. I came in and I distracted you, man. My fault.
Yeah. Thank you, but I can't put it on you. I'll take it.
You got big shoulders and they're very well nutrient filled, so it's okay.
Well, listen, we would like to invite you and Lisette, if you could take the link to the Red Line Challenge that I've put in the comments, and if you could drop that into the Facebook group, I would be appreciative if you could do that for me, because everything that we have been talking about today around using calorie density and not willpower to lose weight, we can help you. We've got a journey starting Monday of next week, but sign up now. Sign up now and let us help you on that journey. It's $7. Come on. Anybody can do it. If you've done it once, do it again. But do it as a VIP, and then you get to pick our brain. So after you sign up on the next page, say, yes, of course I want to be VIP. And that way we can help you. You can pick our brain for a couple of days. Unbelievable deal. Okay, listen. I want you to understand and keep something with you. Can you do this? What is this? Do this. What's this? What's this?
And
This is part of your body. And you only have one of them in this lifetime. It is a blessing. You only have one body in this lifetime. If you don't take care of it, where are you going to live? I don't care how much money you have. You can't buy another body. You got to take care of the body that you live in. You live in it. You're never away from it. You only got one. If you don't take care of it, where else you gonna live? You only got one body in this lifetime. So eat as though your life depends on it.
because it does.
Eat more fruits. Eat more vegetables. Eat more beans, lentils. Eat more potatoes. But don't add the butter or the sour cream. Add some guacamole instead. Or have a sweet potato. But you only have one body in this lifetime. Eat as though your life depends on it, because it does. My name is Vince Rountree. It's been a pleasure to share this with you this morning. Thank you for joining us on the Daily Huddle. Join us each and every weekday morning at 9 o'clock. We can't wait to see you again. Lisa, roll the tape.
Hey, Robin, I have a question. So,
See you tomorrow, Stacy.